During the late Shabbat, we always have two drashot, two smaller teachings. And so tonight we have the late Shabbat at 8:30. So Rabbi Westreich and I decided we'd do this late Shabbat style and each give a very short teaching. I loved your teaching, and I loved even more what you said about Om and yoga and embodied Judaism. And it reminded me of this incredible experience I had when our dear friend, Dr. Larry Brilliant, invited me to come and lead part of Ram Dass's memorial service at the Unitarian Universalist Church in San Francisco. And what were Ram Dass's most famous words? Be here now. He didn't end up a Jewish teacher, but he started a Jewish teacher. He started a Jewish kid on the East Coast. His name was Richard Alpert, and he ended up Ram Dass. And he taught be here now. And why it reminded me of that is because there were probably 700 or 800 people at the Unitarian Church, and it was a Friday. And so I said, Shabbat Shalom, to remind everybody there's an Om in Shalom. And about 85% of the people said, Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi, back, because a lot of them were Jews who were there to remember him. And the reason it reminded me of that, the be here now, is because at this time of year during Elul, we are taught very much to be present, hineni, ourselves and hinenu together be present, but it also teaches us that we have this beautiful month, 28 and a half days of our lunar cycle to prepare for Rosh Hashanah. We are 7 days from the gates opening for all of us. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we bring of ourselves at this time of year. And for that, I think about two beautiful stories about what we're bringing or schlepping with us as we enter this period of the Yamim Noraim, of these intense, awesome days of reflection. And they're not always easy. And the stories have to do with what happens on our journey. And we each are on a journey from birth until the next horizon, but I'm talking about the people Israel. And what I mean by that is that there's a story about brokenness and wholeness that I think is very important for us to think about at this time of year. It's taught about the time when Moses came down with the 10 Commandments, and when he came down with the first 10 Commandments, what did he see? A huge party of Israelites dancing in front of a golden calf. And he was so angry, he took the 2 tablets, and out of anger, he had been on the mountaintop receiving them. He took the 2 tablets and he threw them on the ground. Unless you believe the Mel Brooks version, where he came down with 15 commandments and he said, 10 commandments. That's a different story. But in both cases, the comedic one and the real one, they end up broken. The next story, we receive the 10 commandments again, and they are put into a holy ark, and they're taken with us on our journey. But there's a beautiful story that says that there's either one ark with both of the sets of the tablets, or there were 2 separate arks that carried also the broken tablets with the Israelites along the way. And the reason that's one of my favorite stories, or midrashim, is because it's really about us. It's really telling us that somebody went back and took the broken tablets, the shards, the pieces that were very sharp, and scooped them up and tenderly cared for them and took them and put them into another ark or into the same ark with our intact tablets, and then we carried them on our journey with us. And for me, that really is the epitome of what we do during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's not just be here now, although being present is very important. It's also going back. It's also honoring our ancestors and our parents and saying they also might have given us some brokenness that we've inherited, and it's up to us during this time to be forgiving of ourselves, to sift through those broken pieces that might feel hard. They might bump up against each other in some effort to become more whole every single year. So I love that teaching for us because it gives us a responsibility to ourselves, to our family members, and to the world to be much better than we have been in the year before, and to take the things we've inherited, and even if they're broken, to try and bring them together to make ourselves, our families, and this world a little bit more whole and holy. Shabbat Shalom.